Quick life update. Not sure if you can see my cat, but she's joined. A communal obligation is basically something that rejuvenates, but it's always difficult because this really smells bad. I don't know why. I look like a lion now. That didn't go too well. Hi everyone, Assalamu alaikum. Welcome back to my channel. So today I'm just gonna give a little bit of a quick life update and then introduce my video. So this past week has been the week of Thanksgiving break. So I've been on a week-long hiatus from grad school. That being said, I have found myself working every single day this past vacation, including weekends, except for one day. And that's just because we're coming up at the end of the semester and there's a lot of work to get done before we are finished with this semester. So I'm really trying to, I won't even say get ahead, because honestly, like with the amount of work I'm doing, I'm not really getting ahead. I'm just kind of making sure that this next week to week and a half is not like, doesn't kill me basically with the amount of work that, you know, I will have for the next week and a half. So I'm just trying to get some work done that's due like maybe the week after this coming week, just because if I don't, I will literally be like staying up all night trying to get work done this coming week. So I'm thinking ahead a little bit in that aspect. But anyways, so I've been working a lot this week. It's not really the vacation, I guess, that I expected, or like the time off that I expected. But like I said, I tried to take one day off to really just like decompress and do absolutely nothing, or do as little as possible. And that's what I did on Thursday. Yeah, so I've just been like really busy, kind of stressed, thinking about how much is still left to get done in the next like 3 weeks of the semester. So today I wanted to make a video about self-care, like relaxing, unwinding, but also the Islamic sense of the word. I want to think about that too. So like when I do self-care, a lot of the time it has to do with like stopping work at a reasonable time, like 7 p.m. for example, which is kind of like my goal for today. I hope I'm done at 7, but maybe even before then. Doing a face mask, turning on my essential oil diffuser, for example, like watching an episode of a show that I like. So just kind of the things that we naturally think of when we think about self-care, like doing things for yourself, something that's not necessarily productive, but is just something enjoyable to do. Something I also want to talk about are ways that you can use your free time in enjoyable ways that are also have an Islamic basis. So I'm just going to go through a little list here and talk about a few things, and then I'll show you some of the things I do tonight when I'm hopefully done with my work for the day, and we'll do them together and we'll just chit chat a little bit about my stress levels at the end of the day. So basically the theme of this video is kind of like an Islamic free time routine kind of, and like how to have that, not necessarily saying I have an Islamic free time routine. I think a lot of the time I think of like doing religious things as like something to incorporate into my work routine, but I think that's accurate to an extent. Like it is part of like, you know, my daily routine or my morning routine or whatever, where I'll do certain things. But there's also ways to incorporate Islam into like your fun time or like your free time, and I kind of just want to like talk about those things, remind myself of those things, and then also remind you as well. So the first thing that somebody could do in their free time to wind down before bed, something like that, is doing dhikr. So, you know, getting some dhikr beads or like a dhikr counter and reciting some dhikr, like saying Islamic phrases kind of over and over again. That's kind of what dhikr is. So just like we need food to nourish our bodies, we also need to nourish our soul and to purify it. And dhikr is kind of like a path for you to do that. The Prophet ﷺ said what means, among the best thing that I and prophets before me said is La ilaha illallah, which means no one is God except Allah. And that is the best type of dhikr, saying La ilaha illallah, because that is like one of the two core beliefs in Islam, one of the two testifications of faith, the things that people say to become Muslim. So it's an extremely rewardable thing to recite, and one of the best things a person can say when they're making dhikr. And saying La ilaha illallah relaxes a person's heart, because that person is saying the name of Allah, the creator of everything. Not sure if you can see my cat, but she's joined. Another way to relax at the end of the day or after like, you know, stressful set of weeks or stressful time. I don't know if you can see her right now, but anyhow. My little baby, she's so cute, I can't deal. Okay, anyways, another way to relax is to read the Quran and to also think about the meaning of the Quran. That's also another way that you could relax and unwind at the end of the day, to read it and think about its meaning. There are also a few recreational activities that one can partake in that could be relaxing, something that somebody could do in their free time, not necessarily at the end of the day, towards the evening, just something that a person could do if they have free time, and they're also religiously rewardable things. Knowing how to swim, also doing archery and horseback riding are all communal obligations in Islam. A communal obligation is basically something that if one person in the community knows how to do it, then the obligation is fulfilled. So knowing how to do those things is actually really important Islamically, in the sense that it is an obligation communally, but those are also like recreational activities, right? So if somebody goes to a pool, or they go to practice archery, or they go horseback riding, they can actually have a really good Islamic intention and get reward for that. They can intend to be fulfilling the communal obligation, which is religiously rewardable, but then they're also doing something that's just enjoyable to do in one's free time, kind of relax or unwind after like a long, stressful week, for example, something you could do on the weekend. Another thing that a person could do in their free time, a way to relax and unwind, is to spend time with your spouse. And that might seem kind of obvious, but it's something that the Prophet ﷺ recommended. He used to talk about the rewardability of spending one's time with one's wife, for example. Spending time with each other can make your bond stronger, which can in turn make the community stronger when we have like strong family units that can unify the community and make the community as a whole stronger. So that's also something recommended to do in one's free time. Another thing that somebody could do in their free time, this could be potentially something you could do before bed, or just like on a weekend, like I said, after a long stressful week, is to go out in nature and observe it, and to kind of marvel at the creations of Allah. Because in nature there are so many beautiful things, and all of those things, the existence of all those beautiful things, are just further proof for the existence of God, or the existence of Allah. The beauty of nature is not by chance, it's something that Allah willed for. So that's also something that's really great to do, rewardable to do, and something that could be relaxing as well, just spending time in nature, going out for a walk, going for a hike, things like that. So even just simply doing those kinds of recreational activities could be rewardable and also relaxing. Something that's also religiously recommended, the scholars of Islam recommended, is going out for a walk. I guess whether that be like in nature, like in the woods, or around the block, but it's something that the scholars recommended, and they said that going out for a walk can rid a person of waswas, which is like whispering from the devil. So that's something else that you could do in your free time. Just go for a walk with that intention in mind, or the intention to kind of like clear your mind. And you could also like make dhikr while you're walking, or practice something that you've memorized from the Quran or something like that. You can kind of combine some of these activities as well, so that's also something to keep in mind. Another thing that somebody could do in their free time is reviewing a chapter of religious knowledge, for example. Just kind of building this into your, you could build it into your work schedule, but you could also build it into your free time schedule. Make it a part of your, nighttime routine, your relaxation routine. That's also something that somebody could do, especially if, for example, they can't read Arabic. They could read, or review an English chapter of religious knowledge that they learned, last week at their mosque or something like that. And that's another way to gain reward, but also something that a person could do to kind of just like wind down, center themselves, and do things that are good for their heart and good for their soul. So that's pretty much what I have about incorporating Islam into free time and into unwinding and relaxing. And tonight I'm going to, after I finish my work, it's 2 o'clock right now, but after I finish my work, hopefully tonight, I'm going to film myself doing some relaxing things, unwinding.
مش كل دمعة بتنسكب بتكون من السقام.
Hey guys, so it is currently, I think 9 o'clock, and I finished my work just a little bit ago, or like finished my goal for the day. So what I'm going to be doing right now is I'm going to be doing a hydrating face mask and a nose pore strip. I don't know which to do first, but I'm thinking I'll do the pore strip first and then the hydrating mask. Just because I think the last time I did the pore strip, it like dried out this area for me. So if I do like the hydrating face mask, then it might just like rejuvenate. So now I have my mask on. It smells a little bit weird, to be honest. I don't know why. I've used this before. I think it might be because I wet it, but I just put water on it so that the like adhesive would stick a little bit better, and it worked for me before, but I don't know, it made it kind of smell weird. Anyways, I kind of just want to give like, yeah, just talk a little bit about stress and about, you know, the way I've been feeling lately, just give a little update. As you guys know, I'm in grad school, and I have been like, the first half of the semester was like pretty chill. The second half is definitely getting more intense. This past week has been my break, like it's been like a week-long break from classes, but I've still been working almost every day. And I was talking recently with my friend about like work-life balance, and I've definitely not been feeling like I have like the balance down for sure. And I think it's harder when you're in school just in general. No matter like what level of education you're at, it's always going to be like there's not going to be a perfect balance until maybe you have a job, and even then a lot of the time there isn't. I try to do things that like will kind of make me enjoy my free time more, make it more meaningful, like, you know, make me less stressed out overall, like knowing that I have free time and stuff like that, which isn't always the case. Like a lot of the time I am working from like 8, 9 in the morning until like 9, 10 at night, like every day of the week, including the weekends, and that's just reality. Yeah, anyways, so I try to have as much of a balance as I can. This really smells bad, I don't know why. It's very weird. Anyways, yeah, so I try to have as much of a balance as I can. One thing my friend and I were talking about, which is like kind of like a way to keep the balance in your life, is making sure to allocate at least like some time in the week if possible, where it's just like this is a no work time. And I was talking to her about how, like, for me, what ends up happening is pretty consistently what I can almost always guarantee is that Friday at like 10 p.m. is my like watch one show time. You know, like that's the time where I'm like done with the day, probably by 10 p.m. and I like will allocate that time to like watch a show with my mom, for example, and like same thing with Saturday night, at least 1 hour, you know? And even just that small amount is like keeping me sane, keeping me motivated to an extent, because I know that there's something like enjoyable or like, you know, not strenuous coming at the end of the day. Or like, for example, Saturday mornings are like my time when I talk to my husband on the phone because we're long distance. So that's another thing that's like a way for me to like detach myself from work and guarantee time where I'm not focusing on my work. This is free time, and that is free time alone, you know? I don't know, it's really hard. My work-life balance is like pretty bad, but honestly it kind of always has been this way because I've literally been in school my actual entire life. So I don't think I've ever, other than when I was like in elementary school, I don't think I've ever been at a point where in my life where I have like a good work-life balance where I'm like taking the nights off and like having the weekends off. Like I don't think that's ever occurred in my lifetime. So it's like this is not that foreign to me, or like this isn't something I had to like adjust to that much, but it's always difficult because you think as you're getting older that you're going to reach a point where you're like, you know, work during the day and you know, the nights are for me and like the weekends are for me. But yeah, it's never been my life. So I really do have to focus on like taking care of myself, really taking advantage of the little free time that I have and utilizing it in ways that are good for me and ways that are relaxing for me and things like that. So that's kind of why I wanted to make this video, to just talk about different ways that you can utilize your free time in religiously beneficial ways, like attending lessons, things like that, which is something I wanted to do today, but I was swamped with work. So I'm going to hopefully do it tomorrow, inshallah. Go to my mosque and attend some lessons. But so just things we can do. But anyways, basically, that's all I wanted to say is that I'm feeling the stress. It's the end of the semester. A lot of you guys can probably relate. Comment down below if you're also in college or grad school or something, high school, and you are struggling right now. Let me know in the comments that I'm not alone. And also ways that you, like, I'd also be interested to know like ways that you guys unwind and relax and make sure to have like at least some, you know, relaxation and unwinding time in your week. Like, how do you ensure that you have that time? I would just be interested to know like other people's perspectives and experiences. But yeah, anyways, I'm basically just going to be filming myself doing these masks. And this mask, just in case anybody's wondering what this pore strip is called, it's Kala Deep Cleansing Nose Pore Strip. It's just something I found at Marshall's. You can get these, like, there's a lot of different brands that do these, but this is the package. And then the vitamin C, it's also a collagen mask, but my sister-in-law, who is a physician's assistant, was saying that collagen doesn't do anything to your skin, like in terms of like anti-aging, unless you ingest it. So I don't think the collagen really does anything, but the vitamin C I know does. So this one is called Azure or Azure, I don't really know. Just something I like to do that's relaxing. You can get these from Marshall's, like they're really cheap if you look for masks there, just as like a fun thing to do. But yeah, that's pretty much what I'm gonna be doing for the rest of the night, and like maybe watching a few shows, maybe one with my mom. By a few I mean like one, but probably with my mom, and then I'll just film kind of my nighttime routine, what I do for the rest of the night. All right, I'm gonna take this off now. Fast forward if you don't want to see what came out of my nose. Do you see that? See all those white spots? That's what came out of my pores. It's really satisfying for me to see, but maybe kind of gross for you. But yeah, well, alright. My nose definitely feels dry. So now I'm going to move on to this mask. I don't need to go to the bathroom to do this. I'm just going to pop it on. It's going to be interesting with the hijab on. Pull that back as much as I can. Alright, let's try this. This goes on for like 15 minutes. So it's like this. I might have cut that out, but my camera fell down. So that's why the weird angle is happening. Okay. I'm not gonna fold like this part over because, like I said, I'm wearing a hijab. But yeah, just gonna be masking it up, you know what I mean? On a scale from 1 to 10, how fabulous do I look? Tell me. Why do I feel like I look like a lioness? I look like a lion, no? I can't really smile right now, but I feel like I look like a lion. I don't know what these hand movements are, but yeah. I definitely look like a lioness right now. This is very cool. Okay guys, so it's been about 10 or 15 minutes, so I'm gonna take this off now. Do I look like a whole new woman? Do I? Alright, I'm just gonna rub this into my skin. Okay, I'm just gonna let this dry off on its own. So I think I'm gonna talk to you guys a little bit later tonight before I sleep, but for the time being, I'm gonna be probably hanging out with my mom or something like that. So that's something that I do in my free time.
Would you think Muriel was calling me?
Hey guys, so it's now about midnight, I think a little bit before midnight, and I'm about to get into bed and just do my last minute nighttime things. I spent some time with my mom. We were watching some shows we like to watch together. I brushed my teeth and did like my last minute or like skincare things that I usually do before bed. So I used a retinol cream, which I mainly use for like acne prevention and anti-aging benefits. And then I put on rose oil to moisturize my face, which is also good at toning down redness if you have like a lot of redness in your face, which I do. So my face probably looks pretty shiny right now for that reason. But yeah, I'm just about to get into bed. I'm gonna make some zikr, which like I said, I haven't done in a very long time. So it's definitely something I want to get rolling into my routine. And I'm going to probably just read a little bit or watch a little bit more of a show as I get sleepy and then go to bed. Also, something I'm going to do right now, which I forgot to do earlier, I should have done it like an hour ago, is I take melatonin at night. I've just recently started doing this as part of my nighttime routine, and it really is helping me fall asleep at the time that I want to if I take it in time. It usually takes about an hour to kick in, so I should have, like I said, taken this an hour ago, but I already feel a little bit tired, so I think if I take it now, like, I'll be out soon. I'm just going to show you the rest of my nighttime routine, and then I'm going to see you guys in my next video, inshallah. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like this video if you enjoyed it and you would like to see more vlogs like this kind of a video. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you're not already, and I will see you guys in next week's video, inshallah. Assalamu alaikum. Bye. Good night.
نجدة يا محمد هالدنيا حمل كبير طال الليل الأسود ومتعب من التفكير نجدة يا محمد هالدنيا حمل كبير طال الليل الأسود ومتعب من التفكير
نظرة يا مؤيد بتخفف عني كتير أنا همي بيتبدد يا ريت لعندك طير نظرة يا مؤيد بتخفف عني كتير أنا همي بيتبدد يا ريت لعندك طير يا ريت لعندك طير
Okay, that didn't go too well.